Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Matters Go. Today I'm talking about my theory in life, the way I run things in my world, if you will. See, a lot of people, they look for success, they look for status, they look for this, they look for that. I don't really look for that because the work that goes into making status, making success and all this, you have to balance it out. We all have to be successful to an extent. We don't need to be millionaires. I mean, lower middle class isn't so bad. You have a house, you have somewhere to sleep, you have food, and most of the creature comforts that anyone could ask for. I mean, I'm lower middle class. I'm not super rich or anything, but you know, I enjoy my Xbox and my camera and my show and all this, and I'm still doing all that. It's about as far as you need to go because it also maximizes the amount of enjoyment out of life that I can get. Yes, the enjoyment I get out of life is very, some would say, antisocial, because part of my fun is making this, making crazy songs and playing Xbox, and maybe not the most healthy things to enjoy, but I'm just trying to maximize the amount of fun I can make out of life. I don't want to be a guy who's an accountant who works for a massive company and makes $2 trillion a year, because I go home, I get calls, I gotta do work while I'm at home. I got long hours at work, I got a lot of stress, I got this to manage, I got that to manage, I got this and that and that and that and that. That is okay for other people. Some people want that. Some people want to become celebrities that are doing interviews 24 hours a day and having everything they do put under the microscope, you know, right to the finite points. Like, look at Justin Bieber. I mean, I don't even rant about him anymore. I'm not really, you know, he's that dude who made a lot of money, good for him, let's move on, just let him, you know, do an usher and whatever, let him have his fun. But now they're still putting everything he does on a finite microscope. Am I the only person who thought it was kind of cool that he pissed in a mop bucket? Just me? Bringing rock and roll back to pop? No, just me on that one, okay, anyway. But in my opinion, these people probably live by a similar theory to life that I do. Try to maximize the amount of fun you have to reduce the stress. That's kind of how my theory works, right? Yeah, I could do a job like maybe a management position that doesn't take up too much time. Like, you know, I'm willing to work 12 hours a day. Half a day is fine for me, but beyond that, when it goes into I've been working for 18 hours and I do that every day, what's the point? I mean, if you're working, you work for a goal, but if you're just working, you never really achieve the goal because you haven't got time to put the things together. None of us really have the dream, and our only ambition is to be successful and rich and working 24 hours a day. None of us have that. Most of us have a thing, we're happy to work our jobs, we're happy to have our creature comforts. A lot of us at night, you know, you have a hot drink and watch some TV or whatever your ritual. You might have a few beers, you might smoke a joint or something and just chill out and relax at the end of the day and watch TV and go to sleep and wake up and get back into it for the next day, and then, you know, enjoy your life, maximize your fun. We all would like to have our relaxing time, we all like to have our time to be stupid, which is true. I defy anyone to disprove me on that. At times it's just fun to get a little bit dumb and do something a little bit stupid or spontaneous. And yes, it backfires for some. That's true. But you know, that's a part of life. Mistakes are education in a sense. Every mistake you make, you can easily learn a lesson from. Don't do that. That was a good idea, but I took it too far. So on and so forth. But when you're working all the time, you don't have time to do those sorts of things. You probably find that most people who are huge successes don't have some basic maybe social skills. Maybe they can't even cook food for themselves. Maybe they can't even do their laundry. They're very successful and talented in their job because they work at 24 hours a day, but they haven't taken the time, because they don't have it, to do the basic things in life. For instance, I work with a guy who's a moderately successful chef. He's managed many kitchens, he works 7 days a week, he works hard, and yes, he is well off. He's making a pretty good future for himself, and a lot of people would say that's very honourable. But at the same time, I do feel sorry for this guy, you know, for the simple things that he comes to me with, like, I need to change washers in my house. Now, to some people that sounds like an extensive job, but basically what it is taking the tap off. All of this you can look up on Google, it's not too hard, but if you're working 7 days a week, you're too tired and don't have the time to do this anyway, take the tap off, you'll find the washer in there. You basically just buy a new one from a hardware store and just pop that in there, put the spring in and put it all back together. All this you can learn off Google. All of this can, even for some who are lucky enough to be very good with their hands, it's just common sense to them. But if you're working and becoming a success and just overdoing it on the success, my idea is the success is from the enjoyment in life. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say that any huge pop star is really a success, because look at all the stress they go through in everything. I mean, I smoke joints every day. Not a problem. Nothing. No backlash from anyone. Everyone just lets me do what I do and drink my beers and whatever. Fucking, Justin Bieber smokes one joint and everyone's all on that shit. I feel bad for him, man. He can't even relax and just smoke a scoob. I mean, he's the same age as me. I can relate to that because we're in the similar age group and everything. A lot of people will just go, nah, that's bad. What about the children? He makes like sexualized music. Why are children? See, that's another thing. Everyone's making all this speculation and, you know, because of these they're famous, you know, so you have to judge everything they do. Oh, look, so-and-so did this, so-and-so did that, but, you know, if you put the facts together, you can easily see the picture. Some of the things are bad, you know, when they die from drugs and stuff. I'm not going to say that's not good. But I'm not going to say, oh, it's because of the children. I'm just going to say, what the hell's going on in that industry? I mean, I'm in the hospitality industry. Not many people die from drug overdoses or suicide, as far as I know. It's not a common thing in the chef industry. Yes, drinking and smoking weed is, but, you know, we don't have people dying or freaking out or going crazy. It's not very common in hospitality. But the successful people, like your big corporation hotshots and your movie stars and all this shit, they're going crazy all the time. I don't call that success. If you're doing something that's supposed to make you successful but you lose your mind from it, it doesn't count as being successful. Yes, you made millions of dollars, you're known around the world, it drove you crazy though. Money isn't everything, status isn't everything. You gotta find the place where you're comfortable. Understandably, some people will have to work a lot more than I do just to get to a place where they're comfortable. They want the big TV, they want the fancy car, they want all this. But if it's all about status for you, I feel bad for you, because it should all be about enjoyment. You know, you can have the hottest girlfriend in the world, but what if she's a bitch? That's not worth it then. I mean, yeah, you get to have intercourse and do all that, and that's good when you're young, but you're stuck with her, and when you become an old man and your libido's, you know, dying off, you're just left with a bitch then, you know what I mean? So you got to find the comfortable place of success. Don't go for the from rags to riches story. Don't go from that. Live within your means, basically. Live where you're comfortable. If you're happy in middle class, stay there. That's fine. You're not a failure because you stayed in middle class. If you're happy, happiness is success, in my opinion. So yeah, maybe everyone disagrees with that, and I'm just fucked in the head, but yeah, it works for me and I'm happy where I'm at. So enjoy life, people. Bit of positivity from the Mad as a Goat thing, so just enjoy it, peeps. Anyway, this is Mad as a Goat. I shall see you later.